Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. What I've got behind me is my Twitter up. We're going to go over some information. I posted some more information on Twitter myself. We'll go over some of this stuff, let you guys know what's going on. Again, I know some people, they're asking me, oh, Andy capitulated because I didn't release the videos exactly on time. I'm not selling anything, guys. I'm not afraid. I think the market conditions are just fine. I'm going to go over some information looking at the other pullbacks that I've had to live through during this bull market. Now, are we going into recession? Perhaps. Difficult to say. We've already had some pretty big movements in a lot of these commodity companies. A pullback was basically, at some point was going to happen anyway. But let's look at some of the pullbacks that we've seen in history. And we can do that together here on my Twitter account. Now, if you guys want to add me on Twitter, it is at finding_finance if you'd like to add me. Obviously, that's completely up to you, but that's my name if you want to add me. So let's go over the information. I said nothing out of the ordinary with the pullback in commodity stocks. We had a few of these pullbacks already, a couple of oil companies during this bull market, and I'm going to show you SM Energy. We had about a 45% pullback that happened back in 2021. We had another 34% pullback from top to bottom here right before 2022. So we had two massive pullbacks. And now we're experiencing another pullback of 36.62% if the bottom is where it's at right now. I don't know if that's necessarily the bottom. I'm kind of waiting for some buyers to come back into the market and show me. But, we have pulled back quite a bit. Up to you on what you want to do. I can't give advice, but I've been looking at companies and I'm waiting for some sort of sign that the buyers are coming back in. Switching to the other one, this is Centennial Resource Development. A 41% pullback. In 2021, another 48% pullback, a 34% pullback, all in. These three pullbacks all happened in 2021 as this thing is creating higher lows and higher highs. Now, we have sold off roughly almost back to the same spot we were at in this pullback here, this 33% pullback. We created another high, which is almost a higher high, and then almost a lower low. It's almost like we're putting in a megaphone pattern. But either way, we're down 37.25%. We're putting in a little hammer candlestick, which sometimes can be bullish. But I want to see what this bounce has got in it. But overall, guys, the way that you buy, if you want to purchase, what you have to learn is you basically have to buy these pullbacks. And some of these pullbacks are pretty hard to buy. Like this one kind of went sideways for a while. This one was more of a V-shaped bottom. The V-shaped bottoms are tough to get. They're very tough to get. This could be a V-shaped bottom. I don't necessarily know, but we've got a pullback, and up to you on how you want to play it. I'm waiting for some buying pressure, and I'm trying to see, is this the bottom? I do like that big wick at the bottom, though. That does look a lot better than not having one. And this is Athabasca Oil Corporation. I'm just going over this one. We had a 42% pullback in the middle of 2021. And that was basically over the summer. It ended probably, August or so, maybe it bottomed. But that was a big pullback during the summer for Athabasca Oil. We had another big pullback of 38% right before 2022. 2022 has been a stellar year. It took off around 80 cents. We pulled on back, basically a double at this point, but we're at a 38% decline. So our largest declines here is 42%, 38%, and we're at 38%. How close are we to the bottom here? And we're coming up to a support line. I buy off support lines. I don't know. That's kind of the no fear thing, and that's kind of where we're at with Athabasca. Coming on down, I've got oil price looking at the long term. Some selling pressure recently, but doesn't look horrible on the long term. The long term looks fantastic. We could get a pullback here. Maybe we continue higher. Again, guys, I don't like predicting the short term little movements I like seeing the big picture view, taking a position, and then riding it. That's been my strategy. And here on the monthlies, we have some selling pressure in the short term. Looking at platinum, I posted platinum. Platinum inside a falling wedge on top of another pattern. When will we launch? Asks everyone. And we're all asking, when is this thing going to go? When are we going to pull on back more? You know what? It's sitting on top of a pattern. That's a good thing. We've broken out of the pattern to the upside. If this was not going to happen, I would suspect that this would have continued lower. But it hit a bottom, capitulated, and went higher. So I do think that we are very close to a bottom at some point here. And platinum, in terms of the future, looks very good in terms of its demand supply characteristics. So platinum does look good. It's sitting on top of a pattern. When will it launch? Everyone's asking that question. I've got the same question. If someone knew and could tell me with 100% accuracy when this thing would launch, I would put a whole bunch of money into it right before it. But unfortunately, no one knows that for sure. Now, some more negative price action is copper selling off, looking pretty weak in the short term. Dr. Copper could be seeing weakness in the markets in the short term. And we've seen some selling pressure in copper. We call it Dr. Copper because this is an industrial metal. We could be entering recession if this continues to head lower. It does look pretty weak in the short term. And we could do a back test to this breakout here, guys. And that's all the way back, upper $2 per pound range if we hit a pretty decent size, pullback or recession. Looking at real estate, this is the update on the weekly housing market trend. This is the week ending June 18th. It was just released today. The median listing price year over year change is 17%. The new listings is up 6%. The active listings, which are listings that can be purchased, is up 21%. And the time on the market is 4 days faster. So we are seeing some slowing in the housing market. The active listings are coming up, and the listing prices continue to go higher on a year-over-year change, and that's what I look at, our year-over-year changes, to strip out any seasonality in the prices. But at this point, the markets are slowing down, and we're going to probably see that in the housing starts as well. Mortgage rates are having an impact, but rates have been coming down in the short term. They have pulled back some. So we'll see what happens. This is Grady, called the top in copper in the post linked below. This is what he's got. Shoulder, head, shoulder is what he's seeing in a potential lowering of copper. Remember, this is highly tied to the economy, Dr. Copper. And when this goes down, we are seeing weakness in the markets. Tavi says, amazes me how much commodities are falling despite major supply constraints. That tells me how bad economic activity and corporate earnings are likely to be in the next months. Dr. Copper just turned negative on a year-over-year basis. Deterioration in the labor markets come next. And we're seeing copper prices year-over-year change, and this is the zero mark, and we can see it starting to go negative, minus 1.4% on a year-over-year change. And that's usually when you get a little bit of weakness in the markets. You can see the weakness in 2019, 2018. Those were not necessarily recessions. These did reverse course, and we lowered interest rates in the 2018 timeframe. But this was a major move lower for the 2020 March shutdown. And again, copper signaling trouble with the economy by negating the potential bull flag. We had a large bull flag coming up here, and we've broken to the downside of that bull flag. It was a breakout to the downside. So we are seeing some signs of trouble in the economy. And that's what copper is basically raising its hand saying, hey, look, we have a little bit of a problem. And a lot of people are talking about copper. Another one, this is kind of interesting. We had another 07-08 pullback in this wedge breaks in copper was bottom for the pound gold correction. So copper went down as gold surged higher last time. That was in 08, the bottom of 08, and that's when they did the reflation. So we'll see what happens here. We are heading lower. He's got kind of that same type of movement that we had before back into 2011. Maybe that movement will come again. It says, want to get bearish? This is Eric Nuttall. He says, let's get bearish. At $70 a barrel of oil, a 33% price drop from here, and it's not our base case. The average energy stock is now trading at a 16% free cash flow yield, and at 75% of free cash flow to returns could still pay a 12% dividend. So some of these guys, they got some massive percent payouts here, like OVV, Crew Energy, very high CPE. We got CDEV in the middle here, 15. And I'd say, anything above, man, these are all pretty good. Anything above this over here, like 13% and above, is looking pretty dang good. VET is pretty stellar here at 28%, and OVV at 29. And that's what I've got for today, guys. I just kind of wanted to go over and what we're seeing in the, some information in the market. So the housing market, I mean, it's not crashing by any means, at least not yet. We'll find out with more data as the data goes along, but prices are still up 17% year over year. But the inventories are accumulating some, so they are softening. That's for sure. Overall, in terms of the commodities, they have been selling off here recently. We have had a pretty good pullback. Now, retail investors, and this is what most people are going to do, is they're going to get very bearish here. Retail investors are very bullish when things are going up. They're very bearish when they're going down. You need to recalibrate yourself if you're a newer investor. You need to start getting bullish when everyone else is bearish. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and go load up on any of these things at this moment. Remember, I don't give advice. I'm just telling you general rules of thumb of what I've learned over my years of investing. You have to be bullish when others are bearish. And you want to buy into strength is usually what's done me pretty well. I have the problem of getting overly excited and buying early. So things are falling down and I like to try to time the bottom and buy early. I've always been like that. I've always shown up to, class early. I've always gone to things and shown up early. It's just the way I am. I always show up early. And sometimes it's better to almost let things basically base out and die out and then take an entry point sometimes. Not all the time. You do get some V-bottoms, but which are very hard to catch. But over the years, it's like, you know what? Let's just wait for this to kind of relax, let it kind of peter out and bottom out, and then I'll take a look and start deploying money again for my. And when I say deploy money again, I mean start to buy and cost average in again. My shares are already there. I'm not selling anything. So I'm not saying I'm redeploying. I am deploying new money into the market when I see some strength, and I'm going to buy into that strength. And again, I'm going to try my best to time it as best I can with these pullbacks. So overall, guys, that's all I've got for today. If you guys like this type of analysis, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to do enter the question and answer session, we have 2 question and answer sessions for the Platinum members on the website in the description link below if you'd like to join. You can ask me questions. I've got lots of data where I can share things with everyone, either on the channel here or on the website. When you guys ask specifically, I'll share stuff. And if you want to go to that, I have 2 sessions Sunday. So that is Sunday the 26th. I have one session at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time and another session at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. They're going to be an hour and a half each. You can attend both of them if you'd like. I'm going to videotape them and I'll post them on the website of what my opinions are. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.